The help that I'd like to provide is a deeper understanding of the human organism as far as our performance, our function, and all aspects of the outward behaviors and life patterns that accumulate to represent who we become, who we are. And I had been thinking about it sort of in a two-dimensional sense of like this triangle, the cognitive triangle, where our thoughts, emotions, and actions are all interrelated and affecting our outward behaviors. And then a circle around that triangle that represented everything that was external, our external environment, all the circumstances of that environment, all of the stimuli coming from that environment interacting with our internal environment. But more recently, I've decided it's more three-dimensional, and it's this idea of a sphere. And at the center of the sphere is the core, and that core is our spiritual, physiological, and emotional wellness, and all things tied to those three core components of our core self. So, I'd like to grow this idea in a way that it begins to make sense more deeply to me, and also in a way that it's useful to other people, where they're like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be a model, a tool for me to be able to understand how my external environment is interacting with my internal environment, and how that's affecting how I feel, what I think, and the behaviors. And some of the behaviors are internal behaviors, right? Because it has to do with stimulating thoughts or stimulating emotions, and the idea of emotional intelligence and how we're regulating that all can be internal before we manifest these external behaviors. So that's where I am on this day, and I'm really looking to put my ideas out there in such a way that people start to hear it in a way that can serve them. And that's the goal. So I hope you're able to connect with your internal environment and the external landscape of what's stimulating your internal environment and manifesting your behaviors. And the behaviors are the ones that you want to manifest, that are leading you in the direction that you really want to go, truly. And that you're facing this radical honesty about, is this truly where I want to go? I feel like I need to do this. I feel like I ought to do that. I feel like I should be doing X, Y, Z. But is that your truth? Is that really the authentic pathway for you? And you may hear this and you may say, like, don't get all weird on me here, Chris. Just keep it simple. And I think it can be simple. But I think we easily get caught up. The cultural forces are so powerful, we get easily caught up on some idea of what we should be doing or who we should be. And we lose sight of the truth within us. And so that's my thought this morning on this sunny Thursday morning in April. April, I've decided, is like a burr of winter. And what I mean by that is, if you've ever encountered burrs, I don't know their technical name, but these little things that inspired Velcro, I believe, that have these little spheres with little hooks on them, and they get caught on everything. If you have a golden retriever, they get all locked up in your golden retriever's fur. They get caught on your pants, on your socks, and they cling on to you. And I feel like that's what April is like. It's like clinging on to winter here in northern New England, because we get teased with this like, oh, sunny, kind of warm, but no, it's cold and windy, and tomorrow it's going to be 38 degrees and rainy. Maybe it'll snow like it did 2 days ago. So we're here, we're waiting for spring, but it's a great example of nature and how slow nature moves. And we should remember that we are part of nature, and our growth is also incremental, and it takes time. So patience is needed. If you plant a marigold seed in the soil today, you know not to expect to see a marigold flower later that day. You're going to have to wait. And we don't know on the microscopic level what's going on with that seed as it's down in the soil seeking the nutrients that it needs to begin to convert and evolve into the plant that it will become with a blossoming flower at some point. But patience is required. So I kind of been around in a few different directions on this. It doesn't really matter. I'm mostly speaking to myself in a way that could be shared with others. I hope everything is going in a meaningful direction for you, and that's my wish for myself.